You may have noticed that Excel allows you to enter a number of numerals, number formats in the Excel, which includes the currencies, the percentages, decimals, and other forms of numbers. And so the feature you are to use in the that allow you to enter data in the number form in the Excel is called the number format. And you need to understand this number format and how it works so that you can be able to manage and handle your data very well in Excel. And so this is an example. We have the date, we have figures here in currencies. This one is in dollars, and we can have other figures, percentages, and the expenses are also here, which are also in dollars and in a number of figures. So let's say example, Excel allows me to put inside date. So if I have date as 1st January 2024, Excel understands this as the general it understands as a general format, which is the date. So the general format is there, but once it's able to recognize the data you have put inside, so it recognizes that this is a date that I've entered, so it recognizes it as a date. And the normal text in the cell is displayed in the function or the formula bar. And so you can change the date to other number format. So we have the numbers over here. So this one, there's no division in it. You can just box them together. And we have the currencies, we have the accounting, and we have the short term date. And the one I've written here is already in the short form. So I want to use the long form date. And the long form comes with the day, the month, and the year. So Excel makes this simple for you because it understood what you have entered. And I can use the autofill handle to generate more of this day in my Excel. So if you bring your mouse cursor to this small square at the edge, and when the cursor has turned to this dark plus sign, you click on it and drag, and you will see that it will autofill it for you. Now, when you see this hash symbols, don't be worried. It is because the figures or the numbers cannot enter. So all you have to do is to enlarge the cell and they will enter. So remember, Wednesday was long, Wednesday is longer, and that is why it's making it hash hash. Okay, so this is how it is done. What if you have put a data that Excel does not recognize? So it will leave it in the general form. Example, if I am inputting January 1st, January 1st, and I enter. Excel do not understand what I have put, so it will not give it to me whether it's a date or whatever. So it leaves at the general form. It still leaves at the general form. And now, if you are using the autofill handle and you click on it and drag, because Excel does not understand the data you have put inside, whether it's the form of a date or whatever, it will only automatically copy the same text downwards for you. And so how do you resolve this? The way you could have written it is to write it as January 1. So the first you understand in your book, in whatever you are writing it to, or human being reading it, but Excel does not understand. But once you write January 1, Excel is able to recognize that you are referring to the months in the year. So it automatically gives you a custom form of the year, and we call that the custom, which means you have entered your own year and that. Now, when you can refill it or use the autofill handle to do it, and it will autofill for because it recognizes the text that you have now input. And so the number format is very easy to use in the Excel sheet, and you need to be conversant with it by practicing it, just like what we are doing now. And so you come and you see a number of number formats that you can use. Now let's look at the percentage. So if I have 9% and you press enter, Excel understand what you have entered. It understand the meaning of percentage, so it automatically gives you the percentage sign. It means you have entered a percentage symbol. Okay, and I can change this data into a different format. Remember, in our math class, percentage can be written in decimals because percentage means out of 100. So if you want it to be in the decimal form, all you have to do is to come back to the drop down arrow on the number format and you choose the number, and it will convert that percentage into the decimal for you. I'm saying this so that you will know when you are putting percentage in the decimal form. So you can put 0.09 as a percentage, or you can just put 9%. But to avoid maybe making mistakes, you can just put the 9%, type the 9%. Now remember, if you don't type 9% and just type 9, Excel does not understand it as a percentage. So you can see they're still leaving it in the general form. And I said earlier that when Excel does not understand the data you are putting inside, it just leave it in the general form. It will identify its own format for your cell inside. So this, it can be currency. What you have kept here can be currency. It can be percentage. It can be date. It can be time. It doesn't know. So it leave it in the general form. So if you want to leave it in the percentage, you click on the drop down menu and you click on the percentages. Now remember, it has given you 900%, which means 9 in the percentage form means 900. It is multiplying by 100. So in order to prevent this, we say that you attach the percentage sign when you are typing it inside. So instead of just typing 9, I will just type 9% and you enter, and it will automatically identify that this is a percentage form. Now looking at or dealing with the number of zeros that should be at the end of your number. So if I have this, or let me use 8.00 and enter, it only gives me 8 because it does not recognize that I need 0.00 to be there. And how you can do that is to come and use these arrows here on the number format. So I can use this to add more zeros to it. So generally just click on the number. You can use it to add more zeros to it. So I want 2 decimal places. So especially when you're dealing with currency, I'm using the 2 decimal places, or you can use the 3, or you can use this one. If you want to leave it in 1 decimal place too, you can leave that 8.0. And any data you are entering, it is able to recognize that there's a decimal point at the end, especially if it is 0. If not, Excel will not add the 0. And you can clean it off automatically and everything is off. So you can also use the currency symbols here if you want to attach the currency to it. So if I'm using the dollar sign, it is attached to it. If I have 6 and I want to use any of the other signs, that's euro, you attach to it. So the number format brings you a lot of varieties you can use to deal with your data. Thank you and watch out for my next video.